because Pol Pot want to develop Cambodia, and that's important because that principle number one change. Pol
Yes.
Pot want to change, want to improve, but then he break principle number two, differentiation. He make everyone farmers,
Yes.
and you cannot break the law. When you not obey the law, you fail.
Chris.
Yes.
How are you? Good to see
Good
you
thing.
again.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So today we're going to discuss more detail about diversity and
Yes.
differentiation.
Yes.
So in the principle of number 2 is talking about diversity and differentiation. Can you explain more detail?
Yes. It is very confusing term. Even in English, many people get confused. The best way to explain this is differentiation is the action, the process of making things different. The result of this differentiation is called diversity when everything is different. Right? So that's the two. It's connected. But I think for normal conversation, we can just use both. We can use either diversity or differentiation. The technical term for that is diversity.
It's diversity. So can you explain a bit more detail about the connection between the two?
The connection between the two is one is the process, the other one is the result. But the connection between diversity and change is something else. So diversity is the result of change. When we change, we become more different and we become more complex. So let me give you an example. If you plant a seed on the ground, the seed is very simple, right? And then it starts to change, it starts to grow. And then it becomes different. It becomes the root, it becomes the stem, it becomes the leaf. And it continues to, as it continues to grow, it becomes more and more different. Now we have flowers, now we have fruit, which is different than each other. So yeah, as we change, the result is we become different. So that's the connection between the two.
So is everything different?
Yes, because that's the law, right? The law that everything in the universe is different. Like I explained before, this principle of the law is not human law, it is natural law. And it is not a theory, it's the truth. You can see everywhere around us, You go to the garden, for example, you have different flowers. And you go to the forest, different kind of trees. You go to the market, you have different kind of fruit. Even at home, if you have more than one children, you see they are different. So differentiation is part of life. In fact, without differentiation, we die. For example, our body consists of the heart, the lung, the brain, and so on. But if our body consists only one thing, heart, everything heart, we die. So differentiation is life. Everything, all the 5 principles is the principle that give us life.
So just now you said about the different and why it's different. So why the diversity is so important for success and happy?
Yeah. For success is very important. Like, for example, let me give you an example in business, right? Supposing you have a restaurant and you only sell fried rice and hot tea. That's all you sell. Can you compete with another restaurant that sell, different kind of food, different kind of drink? Which one of the two more successful, you think? The one that sell only fried rice and the one have different kind of dishes? What do you think?
Yeah, of course we can make we can make more income from different. Yeah. So if like that, let's say I agree with that part, but also some people said if you sell so many things, it means you are not specialized in that.
You specialize, yes, within certain limit, right? Specialized must not be so strict that you only sell fried rice. I'm specializing in fried rice. Differentiation also mean different clients. Many people come to Cambodia as a tourist, they still prefer European food, right, for breakfast. So you sell European food, and then when Cambodian people or some foreigner that like to taste different kind of Cambodian food, you sell noodle. But if you just sell like catering for the Western people, like you only sell egg and bacon in the morning, then Cambodian people probably don't want to go there.
Okay.
So what I mean is, the more differences, the more successful we are. And right now we are in the ASEAN integration, right? So any people who can speak Chinese, can speak Vietnamese, can speak Indonesian, and so on, English, are more successful than somebody just can speak Cambodian, right? So differentiation is the key to success. Even in our body, even in our health. If you eat instant noodle every day, not different, you're gonna be sick. So you have to eat fruit, you have to eat meat, you have to difference. The more different thing that we eat, the healthier we get.
Okay. So you mentioned about happiness just now. So what about success? Why diversity make us success?
So, for example, even little children, if you give them the same kind of food every day, they're gonna feel boring. They start complaining, "Mom, why you make us give us boboso every day? I want something different." And same with toys. If you give the same toy again and again, they're gonna be bored. They want something different. So differentiation, differenceness actually make us happier, right? So we always go to different places. Sometimes we go to this restaurant, with the family, and then we go to the next restaurant just to try different things. If you go to the same restaurant all the time, your children will complain, "Mom, why you always go to the same restaurant?" So differentiation is actually make us happy. Same people don't wear the same clothes all the time, except me perhaps, but most people like to have different clothes. Make them happy.
Okay, yeah. So can you explain a bit more detail about how important of diversity to business or to education?
Okay. Let's talk about business first, right? When I first come to Cambodia, there's a lot of microfinance. There's almost no bank. It's just microfinance. Then it starts to change. People become more prosperous, become more stable. So now we have to become bank. Now the difference between bank and microfinance is diversity. If we continue to be as microfinance, we're not going to be very successful. Many microfinance now in Cambodia already disappear, right? Why? Because microfinance have very limited clientele. Usually they are people who are not very rich, right? They need microfinance. They only have one kind of product. So to be successful, it have to transform into a bank, right? So the bank have many different clientele. Anybody can deposit and join the bank. And the other thing is, bank have a different kind of product, different kind of services, for saving, for education, saving for buying a car, buying a house, business. So these are the diversity I'm talking about. So that's the example. Because if we continue become microfinance and getting bigger and bigger and bigger microfinance, it's not going to be successful. So to be successful, you have to become a bank with diversity of product and service.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's talk about education. Education is good, because education have different kind of subject, mathematics, language, physics, chemistry. That's the differences, because good. If education only teach about mathematics or language, it's not going to be a good education. But having said that, that's not enough, because most of our education system based on logic, right? Physics is logical, mathematics is logical, chemistry is logical. So it's technology and logic. We have our body have two sides of the brain, the left and the right, right? The left side of the brain is more logical brain.
Yes.
The right side is more creative brain.
Yes.
So right now, most education system focus on the left side of the brain. They almost ignore the right side of the brain, the creative side. But to be successful, we need both sides, right?
Yes.
So we need to be creative in solving problem and so on like that, right? And so we have to actually improve our education system to bring more and more of the right side of the brain to integrate with the lesson.
Yes.
How we do that? A long time ago, when we don't have so much topic in school, we have music, we have art, we have swimming, sport. And now, because we have to do Chinese, we have to do all the different kind. This subject that are fun, because the right side of the brain are more fun. Music is more fun than mathematics and so on. This was left, taken away, which is a mistake. Because when children use both sides of the brain, they become more clever, right? Okay. And we're going to talk about that in the next session when we talk about unity.
So thank you. Like we can say that because currently some part of those subject has been removed. And also less hour, as you mentioned, yeah. And also have some school that they're also doing that, but it's a part-time class. Let's say music, art, sport, and maybe dancing or singing class. Some of those is teaching or developing by the other school. But for the school itself, normally they do only focus on one of those academic classes. Yes, right? Yes. I just added a bit. I don't know whether we can catch into this video or not. Yeah.
No, it is because we need to kind of change our education system. We can improve our education system. There are many subjects that are not so important, like geography and history. Most children can learn it more from the YouTube channel or television channel, and they can explain a lot more interestingly about geography, about history from the YouTube than can a teacher just saying, open page 25 and start reading it. So there is a creative way of making sure that we have used the right and the left side of the brain, the different side of the brain.
Understand. It's really interesting, now it's a challenging between like say some parent and like the other group of parents and the school also, because some of the school they also have taken out of the history and geography, but some parents want to put it, if you withdraw the history, so my kid don't know anything about the history and geography or whatever. But some parents also challenging that, as you said, you can do it in the YouTube or research it, because your brain cannot just remember all the history for the whole of your life. If you study it, just pass the exam and then you finish the grade, you will forget it. And you want it, you just do research. This is the other group of parents. And like in Cambodia now, not just only few, but I guess most of the school and the parent also like challenging each other about this part.
No, that is good. Parents actually have to challenge the education, After all, it's their children. But let me just go back a little bit when you said about history. The way we teach history is wrong. Most history talking about date and time and so on like that. We can actually transform history into a leadership lesson. We learn from past leaders, the good one, We learn from the bad one. What is the impact on society if we have a bad leader? And what is different between good leader and bad leaders? Right?
Okay.
And so this is more important than knowing when is the birthday, unless you want to give them birthday present. Why you want to know somebody's birthday? Just roughly about.
Okay, understand. Yeah.
And then if you want to know, go to Google.
Yes.
You can find that a lot easier.
It's remind me about you mentioned, remember about the bad history and the good leadership in the past. let's say I remember last time you used to mention about our Pol Pot regime.
Yes.
Yeah, it's what we got to know about history,
Yes.
but we learn from the bad points. Yeah. And also about the Angkor Wat temple, we can learn about the leadership, as you mentioned in your. I remember is public speaking.
Yes.
And also some part of your planning for success.
Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned about Pol Pot, because Pol Pot want to develop Cambodia, and that's important because that principle number one change. Pol Pot want to change, want to improve, but then he break principle number two, differentiation. He make everyone farmers, and you cannot break the law. When you not obey the law, you fail.
Okay, so just now we've been talking so far, and you give a lot of example about how important of diversity. So come back to this, like say we call identical twin. Is it conflict to the diversity?
No, it doesn't. When you look just quickly at identical twin, you know, two brothers or two sisters, you think they are almost the same. In fact, as outside people, we cannot tell the difference. We think they're the same, you know. But, you know, their mothers know exactly with this John, with this Peter, just by looking at it. Because there are differences. Very subtle differences, but the mother knows. This is John, this is Peter.
Yes.
Right? Because there are differences.
Yes. Yeah, even though their physics mostly the same, but like the people who live together or the parents, they will know, because of course we cannot like characteristics or like the habit or whatever is mostly not the same, right? Every people have different.
Yeah, habit also different, but also the physical appearance, like the eyebrow, one is shorter than the other one have a shorter eyebrow. Mother can spot it just like that.
Yes.
Although a stranger like us have difficulty to tell the difference, but there is a differences.
So thank you so much for your sharing. And do you have any message to our audience for about the topic that we've been discussed so far for this session?
So my advice is, if we want to be successful and happy, it doesn't matter what age we are, what job that we do, we have to learn to have many different knowledge, different experience, and the more different knowledge, the more different experience, you know, we become more and more successful and happier. And that's so. Don't stop, you know, learning more and more different things and experience different things in our life.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for your time today with us.
My pleasure.
And hope we can have more and more topic next time together soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. ចាសសូមអរគុណបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលបានទស្សនាវីដេអូនេះរហូតដល់ចប់ហើយសង្ឃឹមថាវីដេអូនៃការចែករំលែកចំណេះដឹងរបស់លោកគ្រូគ្រីសនឹងអាចជួយបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាឲ្យទទួលបានចំណេះដឹងក៏ដូចជាបទពិសោធន៍ផ្សេងៗនៅក្នុងជីវិតហើយបើសិនជាបងប្អូនមានចម្ងល់ឬក៏មានសំណួរដែលចង់ឲ្យលោកគ្រូជួយបកស្រាយអាច comment នៅក្នុងវីដេអូខាងក្រោមនេះបានចាសសូមអរគុណ